Straight all day.
You are now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques, all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is how to change your energy quickly. If you need to get a change of energy right now, you feel like your energy is not where it needs to be, is there a way to do it quickly? Yes, there is. I'm going to lay it out and explain it to you here today. And these are things that you can do actionably and immediately right now in your life, wherever you are and whoever you are. But before we do that, first of all, let me tell you about it. I have a daily motivation text that I send out every single day for free to everyone who's in my text community. You should be in this text community since I'm giving it out every day and doing it free, just like this show. All you got to do to get into the community and get on my list to get that text is text me at my number right now. The number is 305-384-6894. Send a text to that number right now. And every day when I send out the daily motivation, because you're in my community, you will be a recipient of this exclusive message that's guaranteed to keep you focused, sharp, and on point. That number is down below in the show notes as well, just in case you missed it. So get into this topic, how to change your energy quickly. I've talked about energy in a lot of past episodes of this masterclass because energy is 85% of the job in life. 85% of the job in life is energy. How you are showing up every single day. In episode 1922, I talked about 5 keys to health and energy. In episode 1865, I talked about how to keep your energy up when you are traveling by air and it's hard to kind of get good rest and you got all those people all around you and all that stuff. At least you don't have to have anything covering your face anymore. I talked about how to run on your own energy and will yourself into a good space in episode 1680. In episode number 1572, I told you how to direct your energy in a strategic way. In episode 1528, how to cultivate and maintain positive energy. In episode 1373, we talked about how to change your energy. We're going to talk about it again here today, almost 1,000 days later. Managing your energy is important because the energy that you're feeling determines how much of your skills and resources you will be able to access and how you will employ those skills and resources that you're able to access. The way I describe it, to give you a metaphor, think of a house with a whole bunch of bedrooms. Let's say a 10-bedroom house, okay? That 10-bedroom house is you and all your skills. Each one of the bedrooms in the house is one of your abilities, one of your skills, your tools, your resources, your talents. When your energy is off, it's as if those doors to that house are locked and you lost the key. So the stuff inside of that room, behind that locked door, is still yours. You still own it. The thing is, you can't access it. You can't get to it. And this is where frustration comes in. Has any of you ever felt the frustration of knowing you can do something, but looking at the situation and realizing that you are not doing it and you're trying to figure out why? One of the main reasons why you can't access something that you know you're capable of is when your energy is off. And when your energy is on its highest level, meaning you're in a right mental space, you're feeling positive, you got a good amount of rest, your brain is firing on all cylinders, that's when you have a master key that unlocks all of those doors. So when your energy is off, it's not that you lose your abilities, it's just that you lose access to the abilities. That's what we're talking about here today. And that state, that energy state, matters a lot. Thought that this one afternoon while I was fleshing out the notes for this actual episode, my energy wasn't where it needed to be. So what I did was follow the exact points that I'm going to give you. It was led to actually better notes, going to lead to a better master class. So let's get into this class right now. Point number 1, the topic once again today is how to change your energy quickly. The first thing you must do to change your energy, if you want to change your energy state at any moment, first thing you must do is alter your physiology. What does that mean, altering your physiology? In layman's terms, it means change how you are using and moving your body. Our definition of physiology is the branch of biology that deals with the normal functions of living organisms and their parts. And another way of saying it is the way in which a living organism or bodily part functions. Changing your physiology means changing how you are using and moving your body. That's simply what it means. For example, if you are slumped down in a chair right now, standing up straight is a change in physiology, or sitting up straight is a change in physiology. All right, that's what it means to change your physiology. If your shoulders are slumped forward right now and you're hunched over and your back is curved, sitting up straight and putting your shoulders back and your head up, your eyes up and your chin out and your chest out, that is a change in physiology. Does this matter for changing your energy? Absolutely it does. It's the best thing you can do to change your energy, is to change your physiology. One thing usually happening when our energy is low is we've been in the same spot physically for too long. Either you're sitting in the same spot for too long, you've been in the same physical environment for too long. Any of you ever spend a whole lot of time all day in the house and you're like, man, I just got to get out of the house. I don't even care where I go. I don't even have anywhere to specifically be, but I just got to get out of the house. So you just go hop in your car, or you go take a walk, or you go just stand outside for a few minutes to get some fresh air. That is a change in energy, it's a change in physiology, and that matters. Sometimes if you've been around the same people for too long, you need to change in energy. Maybe if you've been following the same habits and routines for too long, you need to change the energy. Even though I'm the guy who says same things the same way every time, every now and then as humans, sometimes we need a shake up. Sometimes we need to hit the reset button and do something a little bit different, because it gives us a jolt of energy to change our physiology and do something outside of our habits. Then we can go right back to the habit. But all of us being human beings, we all need that shake. We need that shake up sometimes, just to give our minds something fresh to pay attention to, so we don't get caught in the routines of doing too much of the same stuff all the time, over and over and over again. We can get into a rut and our energy starts to drop. So you've been spending too many days in the house, for example, those of you who work from home, it can give you a shot of energy to just go outside and get some sun, or go to the park and listen to the birds chirping, go to the gym and get a workout in. If you're a person who works out first thing in the morning like me, maybe one day you might go work out in the afternoon. Just as you'll see a different crowd at the gym. There'll be different people there. It'll give your brain a rush of energy because you're doing something that's outside of normal habit and routine. Now again, I'm a habit and routine guy. Same thing, same way every time. But again, every now and then, throw a little wrench into the system, because it will help wake you up. This does help. It does matter. Sometimes you need a change of scenery. That means you need to physically move yourself to a different space. Maybe you need to change your space up. For example, this desk where I sit and record. Today, I decided that I wanted to keep the desk more clear. I had way too much stuff on the desk. So I decided I'm going to keep the desk, for the most part, pretty clear, except for the printer that I use for my shipping labels, this computer, this iPad, and whatever I happen to be using right now at the moment. So right now I have 2 phones on the desk. I already told you about the computer and the iPad. I have a booklet that I've been reading. I got my bottle of water. I got a paper towel and this tripod that I'm recording on, and this microphone. That's it. Nothing else is on the desk. But I used to have a lot more stuff on this desk. It was a little bit too cluttered, and I said, let me just clear this off and let me see if I like that energy better. And I actually like this energy better, for it to be completely clear. Sometimes a simple change like that, it might be a big thing for you, might be a simple thing for you, but changing physiology, meaning changing in the way things are and the way things physically are. Just think about physical when you think physiology. So physically where you're at, physically what you're doing, physically what's in your physical space, maybe rearranging your office, rearranging your bedroom, cleaning out your car, something like that. All of those things can help change your energy. If you're slouching down in the chair, sitting up straight, this matters, and it does contribute to how you are mentally feeling. Point number 2. Today's topic again is how to change your energy quickly. Number 2, change your focus. So number 1 is the energy. Second one is the focus. What are you paying attention to? Because you can choose to pay attention to and focus on anything that you want. You got plenty of choices at all times, especially if you just think it doesn't have to be the things that are right there in front of you. You can think about anything that you want, right? It doesn't have to be present physically in front of you for you to pay attention to it. So what are you thinking about, concentrating on, or giving your attention towards? Remember that human beings, that's me and you, we can only focus on one thing at a time. So take advantage of this limitation and choose your focus. You don't have to focus on the biggest challenge in front of you right now. You can focus on the best thing that you had to be happy about right now. You could. Are you focusing on your challenges, or are you focusing on your hardships? Are you focusing on your opportunities and the good stuff you have in front of you? Remember that whatever we focus on, we create. All right? Anything that you focus on, you enlarge it. Anything that you ignore, it reduces and minimizes it. So what do you want to get more of in your life? You should put more time into focusing on that thing. And anything that you want to allow to go away and disappear, you should give less focus to. This is a simple thing, but it's a challenge for a lot of us as humans, because sometimes we give our focus unwillingly to, and sometimes willingly, to things that we don't want to enlarge in our lives, but we end up enlarging them because we're giving focus to them. And the reason that we do it is because our emotions overpower logic. See, what I'm telling you here is a logical process for controlling your energy, which is changing your focus. And focus is a choice, but it's a logical choice when you have control over your logic. The thing is, when an emotional situation crowds in on you and your emotions start firing off and screaming and yelling and kicking, they overpower, they shout down any logical thought you could possibly have. So this is why you got to remember that you're in the emotional management business, and you must learn to control your emotions. And the better you can control your emotions, like I talked about this in episode number 1781, how to emotionally detach and still produce results. Episode 2123, how to control your emotions. Episode 2155, emotions are great gas pedals, but they are terrible steering wheels. Episode 259, personal power is when you align emotion with knowledge. Episode 447, how to keep your emotions in check when the stakes are high. And episode 560, you're in the emotional management business. So when some situation is firing your emotions up, it's hard to choose your focus in that moment, because again, emotion will easily overpower logic when the two are going head to head. So this is why you must learn to control your emotions, not to completely shut them down and not have them, but to control them, and you direct them when you need to direct them and use them as necessary. Don't allow them to use you. Don't allow them to direct and control you. So when you can do that, then you can choose your focus at any time. But when you don't control your emotions will choose your focus, and you don't want your emotions in charge. Again, emotions are great gas pedals. For when you decide what direction you're going, you can let the emotion push you in that direction. But emotions are terrible at taking the steering wheel. You never want your emotions controlling the steering wheel of your vehicle, because they will ram you right into a wall. Our emotions do not think logically. You don't want that problem. Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is how to change your energy quickly. Number 3, change your self-conversation. Change what is going on in your mind. These are your conscious thoughts. You will notice that all 3 of these elements work together. Your physiology, your focus, your self-conversation. When you change one of them, it's much easier to change the other 2. Your self-conversation is what you are telling yourself about your current state and about your current situation, about your opportunities, and about your situations that are in front of you. Understand that you have a choice in how you look at every circumstance that you face in life. Anything that happens in your life, there is no way that you must look at it or think about it or talk about it. You have a choice on how you look at it, think about it, and talk about it. That self-conversation is the big differentiator between success and failure for many people in life, because all of us face challenges. We all have different opportunities in life. We all have different things that we have to deal with. And the thing is, we all deal with them in different ways. And this is really what differentiates people in life, is how we choose, keyword, choose to deal with the situations in front of us. This is how we can control our psychology, and how we can, by controlling our psychology, make choices about how we look at situations. The challenge for many people is that we are simply unaware of our ability to control circumstance, and instead we believe that circumstance controls us. Now, you may not believe that on a conscious level. If I was consciously just talking to you and saying, do you think circumstance controls you? Most people would say, no, circumstance doesn't control me. I control circumstance. But at the same time, if you look at your actions, and when a circumstance occurs, are you taking control of it, or are you allowing it to control you? For many people, it's the latter. You're allowing it to control you, even though logically, rationally, you understand you have control over the situation. But again, emotion shouts down the logical thoughts that you're having right now. Right now, you're in a calm, relaxed state where you have access to your rational thinking and your logical brain. But if you get into a pressurized, emotional, urgent situation, you're not trying to hear this logic. That's why this time right now, when you're thinking about it, is the time where you can condition your mind, specifically your subconscious mind, to go into a state of resourcefulness and allowing yourself to relax and control your emotion and direct your emotion, rather than allowing your emotion to control you. This is why you do meditation. That's why they call meditation a practice. It's not a meditation science, it's a meditation practice. The reason they call it a practice is because your period of meditation, if you meditate for 15 minutes a day, what you're doing is practicing for the hectic times of the day. That 15 minutes of calm and doing nothing, That's the practice for the 15 minutes when things go crazy at work. It's since you practiced for 15 minutes earlier this morning, now you know how to get into that state because you've been doing it over and over again. This is why you do it over and over again. That's why it's a practice. You don't practice something one time, you do it over and over again. The reason why you practice it is so that when things do get crazy, you know what to do. You have the tools for doing something because you've been practicing doing it. All right, this is a very important reason why they call it indeed a practice. Challenge for many people, again, is your lack of awareness of your ability to control circumstance, and you allow the circumstance to control you simply because you have not conditioned your mind to go to this space, what I'm talking about right here. So when it comes to self-conversation, what are you telling yourself about the circumstance at hand? Are you telling yourself that this is a good circumstance because, and then filling in the blank, well, why is it a good circumstance? And I'm just saying, I don't care what your circumstance is, there is a positive or a negative spin you could put on any situation that occurs in your life. If you found $50,000 in cash on the ground, there's a positive spin you can put on that, there's a negative spin you can put on it. If someone stole $50,000 from you, there's a positive spin you can put on that, there's a negative spin you can put on that. And this is 100% true. Remember that every situation that happens in your life is 100% neutral. There are no good things or bad things that happen to you. There are just things that happen to you. How we decide to look at the things that happen to us determine whether we see them in the long run as good or bad. But there are no good or bad. There's just things. And we get to choose what they end up being. So are you telling yourself that something's a good thing? Are you telling yourself that it's a terrible thing? Do you feel positive about it? Are you seeing opportunity within it? What's the self-conversation? Understand that these are all part of the self-conversation, however you're thinking about a situation. And the good news is they are 100% under your control at all times. Let's recap today's class, which is how to change your energy quickly. Keep in mind that 85% of success in life is where your energy is at. Because if two people who have equal abilities, equal resources, equal access, equal talents meet, whoever has the higher energy is usually the one who ends up successful or controlling the situation. So you have to be able to control your state. Your energy is your state. Point number one, alter your physiology. That means physical. Think physical when you hear the word physiology. That means your physical body, how you're moving and using your body, where you physically are located, the space that you are physically in. Changing any one of those can help change your energy. And you can make changes to these things at any time. You can change how you are physically going about your daily habits and your daily routines. All of these things. Anything that can change physicals, the things that you can see, feel, and touch. Change those. It can introduce a dramatic change in your energy. Number two, change your focus. What are you thinking about, concentrating on, paying attention to? Remember that we can only focus on one thing at a time. So what are you choosing? There's a big word, choosing to focus on. Anything you focus on gets bigger, you ignore something, gets smaller. Number three, change your self-conversation. All these elements work together. So when you change one, it becomes much easier to change the other two. When you change what you're focused on, you're going to change your self-conversation because you're focused on something different. You're going to be thinking about something different. That's all self-conversation is thinking. It's just a conversation you're having in your own head. Understand that this is a choice as well. And just like physiology, all of these are choices. And how you look at every situation that you face in life is 100% up to your discretion. They are not randomly chosen for you. Nobody can make you feel or think about anything that you don't want to feel or think about. They are 100% your choice. Other people can do stuff, but you can choose to look at those situations any way that you want. I was just walking yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I was walking I walked past a building, not my building, but a building, and there was a guy coming out of the parking garage from the building right near the street. And he wasn't looking. I was coming from his right hand side, but he was looking to his left hand side because that's where all the cars were coming from as he was pulling out. And he pulled out like right in front of me. He didn't even see me, but then he wasn't even courteous enough to wave and like acknowledge the fact that he had just damn near, he wasn't close to running me over, but he cut me off completely and he didn't even have the light. He didn't have right away. I think he was too embarrassed to even realize what he had done. But I could have looked at that situation. I could have got angry about it and cussed him out and yelled at him and kicked his car for what he did. Instead, I looked at him so that he knew that I knew that he knew what he had just did, and I just kept walking. And I completely forgot it within 30 seconds and let it go within 30 seconds. I remembered enough to tell you about it, but it didn't bother me. It didn't ruin the rest of my day or anything like that. And these kind of little things, these innocuous things that happen to people, you'd be surprised how often people allow these things to throw them off their energy, throw off their focus, throw off their self-conversation, Even throw out their physiology, because they do something physically with that situation, and you allow that to get you out of your zone of where you want to be mentally and emotionally. So where are you directing your self conversation, understanding that you have control of it 100% at all times? All that said, text me to get my daily motivation for free every single day to your phone. My number is 305-384-6894. And go to workonyourgameuniversity.com so you can access the Work on Your Game system, along with 18 of my other courses that I'll throw on for free as a bonus, along with 4 weeks of coaching I throw on for free as a bonus when you get access to my system that takes everything I learned as an athlete, as a pro athlete, and as an entrepreneur, systematized it, codified it, and put it into a system that you can use so you have a clear strategy for what you're doing, and you're not just doing things randomly and hoping that they work. That's workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work on your game. Dre all day.